This is man-made horrors beyond comprehension. This is the final stage of this kind of content if left unchecked. Trigger warning: violence. A shocking story out of France as an actual Black Mirror episode come to life. Streamer Jean Pormanov, real name Raphael Gravin, died last night live on Kick. For years, his so-called friends humiliated him on camera with beatings, bullying, insults, all for donations. On Monday night, after 10 days of nonstop streaming, I'm not going to show you the footage. I don't know what they will actually show. On Monday night, after 10 days of nonstop streaming, 46-year-old Jean fell asleep on camera and never woke up. Viewers watched as his body was shaken by his companions, who only realized minutes later he was gone. A live video now widely shared reportedly shows him inanimate under a duvet with two men nearby, one tossing a small plastic water bottle at him. Those 10 days weren't just harmless gaming or chatting. They were 10 days and nights of humiliation, extreme physical violence, sleep deprivation, even being made to swallow toxic products. All live and fully monetized for donations. The channel behind this is called Le Local, run by streamers known as Naruto V and Safin. Mediapart exposed them last year for live humiliation and violence for audience shares. They were detained, then released, and the channel kept going. There's a clip from weeks ago that is especially haunting. His friends laugh about what could happen if he died live. One insists he should stay on camera, that if he ever dies, it'll be because of his health, not them. Under pressure, Jean said it. Some people are now arguing he was a consenting adult, fully aware of what he signed up for. But in reality, in a message to his mother, Jean wrote, "It's going too far. I feel like I'm being sequestered with their concept." Jean, a fragile man in his 40s who spent much of his life streaming alone from his parents' house, wanted community and to belong. Instead, he ended up surrounded by people who made him the punchline. After falling in with his new group, he moved in. Streaming became his whole life. On camera, his friends kept reminding him how they had rescued him, how he owed everything to them. Clips show them mocking his past, saying he never had friends, never had love. They call him disabled, beat him, even strangled him. And all of it was played for laughs, with viewers sending money to keep the abuse going. Other streamers saw it coming. Ava Mind said months ago, this channel should have never been public, both for the damage it did to viewers and the way Jean himself clearly wasn't in control. After his death, she said, "It pisses me off to have been right." Arkunir, one of France's biggest streamers, wrote, "I have rarely been so shocked, frightening that such content could continue for years without anyone intervening. Whether it is the disgusting or on the videos or Kick, I hope they all pay." Meanwhile, the man behind Le Local are now posting tributes, calling Jean their brother and asking people not to share the footage of his death. One wrote, "No one knows, but everyone talks. We loved each other. That's all that matters." France's digital minister Clara Chapaz called the case an absolute horror, announced a judicial investigation, and says she contacted Kick directly. But Mediapart says the government was warned months ago. Back then, Kick simply wasn't a priority. Kick, the Australian streaming site, said it couldn't comment due to privacy rules. Their terms ban heinous violence, but moderation is looser than Twitch. In the end, someone died on their platform, sparking a national debate in France on social media responsibility. You're a grown man. It feels like too much pressure. Get up and leave. Everyone's a victim. Lol, now I'll speak how I feel, bud. Dude, you're talking about a dude who had like major disabilities and was lonely. He's like 46 years old. These people clearly took advantage of him. What the f is wrong with you? They tortured him and then he died. Jesus Christ. Dude, there's always a special type of person who will just like endlessly find ways to victim blame, no matter how heinous the situation is. They were also his landlord, chatter. Yeah, exactly. Like they literally were providing him housing too. Like they were exploiting him. I don't know, man. It's just like, fuck. I don't know what compels someone to be that much of a piece of shit. When they're analyzing a situation that they're not even remotely involved in, where they immediately find a way to no, I understand why those guys could do it, because they're fucking evil. Like, what do you gain in that situation? You know what I mean? You just see evil being conducted and you go, I'm on the side of evil. Kick was joking about him a year ago. Kick joking about Jen Pormanov, a man who was tortured to death on their live stream. Deadpool avec un hoodie Kick. John Pormanov was tortured over the course of 2 years by two streamers on Kick. They found a small stream and took him into their home. He was disabled, vulnerable, and living with his parents. They hit him, strangled him, and treated him like a punching bag every day of his life. They paid him 6,000 euros a month, even though they make 2,000 euros every hour they streamed. They financially manipulated him and threatened to get him thrown out of the streets if he left. At one point, he said that he wanted to leave, but he couldn't. This was reported about in French media in early 2025, but nothing happened. They decided to do a 10-day live stream specifically to torture him. He died in his sleep 2 days ago. I mean, this is not Black Mirror chat. It's happening in real time. How many times have we covered, like, files on Kick are unironically distributing CSAM? They are procuring and distributing CSAM, serializing this content. Like, we know this already. It is insane. It's not Black Mirror, it's real life. And there's not really anything you can do about it. There's just they have unlimited money and very little interest. I think the real issue here is like, because they have unlimited money, no one wants to regulate these guys, and it's up to them to self-regulate, and they seemingly are not invested in the self-regulation because they have an endless bag. Bro, they've literally got Mr. Beast. A week before this happened, Mr. Beast openly signed on to the platform. Now you got Ethan Klein, who is trying to sign on to Kick. There are always going to be people out there who don't give a like, Mr. Beast is a Walmart figure, man. He's in Walmart, like, and he's on this platform. Very clearly, it doesn't matter. These guys want to normalize Kick, and they get unlimited bags to do so. This is yet another instance of right but too early, in my opinion, where it's going to turn into a situation where, you know, all of the animosity that that myself and many others who've been actively calling this shit out for a long time is just only getting animosity from a lot of people who like that their favorite content creator is there and want to defend it regardless of the consequences. There's nothing you could do. I don't think Kick loves this shit personally either, for the record. They don't like that this is the only thing that their platform is known for. They want to use the platform as like a casino. And that's the entertainment component that's bringing in people into the casino. You don't want your casino online to be known as the casino where people are getting tortured to death for entertainment purposes. And look at the psychos, dude. Twitch has a dark history too, brother. Twitch, YouTube, these are mass platforms, okay, owned by major conglomerates, and they've been around for decades. There have been mass shootings that have taken place on Twitch, like someone has live streamed it. These guys immediately clamp on it. They have an entire moderation team dedicated in real time to handle stuff like this, as opposed to a dude who did a 10-day snuff film, like a bunch of content creators on the platform who did a 10-day snuff film that ended up with the dude that they were torturing dying. This is endless cope to be like, oh, Twitch does this too, or YouTube does this too. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and act like there isn't shit on this platform too. Certainly there is. But at least like this platform and all the other platforms like try to actively mitigate the harm. Whereas Kick very clearly does not implement this harm mitigation at all. They do not give a about moderation. Years ago, when Kick was first starting out, I said, great, competition is not a bad thing. And I told straight up to Train to his face, if you don't actively pursue moderation on this platform that you are an advisor of, it is going to turn into open season, a shithole filled to the brim with pedophile Nazis. And that's precisely what happened. Lo and behold, that is exactly what happened. Of course, Train and all the Kick enjoyers and all the content creators that went there never let me forget that warning. I warned them. I know what happens when there's no moderation. Kick and new Twitter has basically busted the brains of so many young kids that get a lot of content from that side. And in this day and age, clearly there's increasingly less interest in moderation, and people basically just like wear it on their sleeves. Update: Naruto's lawyer says the shocking videos are just stagings with Jean Pormanov denying his client is a torturer. He calls them best friends, blames cyberbullying campaign, and plans legal action. Reminder: Naruto and Safine were already investigated by the police in Nice last January.
The platform Kick has a reputation as a bit of a Wild West, and also an El Dorado for streamers who no longer have a place on other platforms.
Kick posted to X that they were deeply saddened by Pormanov's death, promising to cooperate fully with the authorities and undertake a full overhaul of their French language content, also banning the rest of the Local group from the platform pending the results of the investigation.
We've had a statement from Kick which says we are deeply saddened by the loss of Jean Pormanov and extend our condolences to his family, friends and community. We are urgently reviewing the circumstances and engaging with relevant stakeholders to investigate the situation. This statement goes on to say, Kick's community guidelines are designed to protect creators, and we remain committed to upholding those standards across the platform. But it's clear that French ministers are really wanting to hold Kick to account here. They believe that the platform should be held responsible for the content that is on its site.
So he had water thrown on him.
I'm being honest, like, I just don't think that they're ever, when we say like, oh, what will it take? Like, I don't know. I don't know what it will take for Kick to actually self-moderate. Because like, it's clear that countries, even like the EU nations who normally have like at least some sense and more regulatory control, would under normal situations, like under normal circumstances, take action against stuff like this, right? But nowadays I feel like that's long gone. Even European countries don't do this anymore. They got to lose money. That's all they care about. They're never going to lose money. The entire platform is losing money all the time. It's not designed to make money. It's designed to be somewhat self-sustaining, but mostly just as a tool to market the cryptocurrency casino that powers it. Like, for example, Stake is a crypto casino. It tried to do ads on Formula One and numerous other competitions, and they were told no. But they can do it for Kick, because Kick can present itself as the entertainment function of the casino and not directly the casino itself. It's not about making money for them. It's just a sole advertiser for their casino, and also a way to basically do some kind of like reputation laundering for the cryptocurrency casino without it being directly a cryptocurrency casino ad. Fizz made a good point. In my opinion, this is the logical endpoint of all lolcowing. It usually doesn't get this far due to moderation and guidelines, but Kick has none, and therefore it enables it to reach this natural conclusion. Yeah. This is what happens when you systematize and turn it into content. Because this is the impact of lolcowing online, but it's usually relegated to the darkest circles of the internet. You know what I mean? This used to be something that people do in like anonymous forums that they have to use VPNs to tune into. But now you're just doing it in broad daylight on a visible platform to an audience that demands more of it. It's basically, you know, Live Leak and Kiwi Farms, but on steroids. And if left unchecked, from my experience, and I can draw a parallel here to what Twitter turning into the Nazi hole it has become has done to every other platform, and what TikTok has done to like red pill incel terminology and basically made it popular and added into the regular lexicon of normies. If left unchecked, this is going to become a thing that everybody does. More and more people do. Content creators are like, they're bots, they're NPCs. They rely on trends, okay? They're not creative enough on their own to come up with like unique ideas. So they'll see something going popular, and if they're depraved enough, they will do it as well. Look at the distribution of CSAM that happened on Kick. One content creator took it upon himself to do these like Riz videos on Omegle or whatever, one of those like websites, random websites, and he started getting nudes from minors. And when that became a meta on the platform Kick, more people started doing it because content creators saw that and were like, oh, this is sick. Like, you can make money off this. You can get clout off this. That is how it goes. That is before this incident, by the way. A year before this incident. And then it became a regular thing. And there's more to it than just that. There's like Nazis on there. Again, that's how Nazis also became the meta as well. Being a Nazi became the meta. Being like a gross racist became the meta. You would just say the most heinous and be rewarded for it. And then other content creators who don't have any functioning brain cells would repeat that because they're like, oh, well, this, I don't give a shit. What about I don't give a shit about the repercussions. Yes, Something About Chickens did a 2-part series on the distribution of CSAM on Kick, sequencing and serializing and turning it into content for a bunch of content creators who saw one guy doing it and they all did it as well. I mean, the same thing is happening with right-wing commentary in general. That's what it is. Monkey see, monkey do. Other content creators see people like HasanAbi popping off, making like Nick Fuentes jokes or pointing to like anti-Semitic memes and shit. Maybe they don't see all of it, but they see most of the stuff that he's saying about like trans people, undocumented migrants. And then they go, well, this guy's popping saying this shit. I'm going to do it too. Greatest example of this is XQC. XQC has no worldview. He doesn't give a about anything, but he saw how much HasanAbi was gaining prominence by doing this shit. So he tried to do it as well. And then his audience yelled at him every goddamn day. And then he had to basically back away from it a little bit. He still tries it to his best ability, but that's it. There are a lot of people who don't over under 3 months. Asman won't go into Kick. He already did, brother. What are you talking about? He already is a Kick streamer. He went to Kick. He went to Kick months ago, and now you got Mr. Beast going there too. It's just so because that kind of stuff just has like like people just don't want to see their own responsibility at all. They just they don't realize that they're playing a role in like normalizing this abhorrent behavior. They don't want to think about their responsibility. They don't want to think about the role that they're playing. They just think about the bag.
Yeah.
But so by someone he was in partnership with.
It appears that he usually creates videos with 2 other video content creators. Some of the videos that I've seen online, it's silly videos where they're slapping each other, they're having fights. It's not clear whether this was something consensual that he took part in or whether this was an escalation in this sort of extreme videos that they were taking part in. But it's very, very unusual set of circumstances.
Entertainment or ritual online humiliation? French content creator Raphael Gravan was known for his video stunts, like taking on these attack dogs. But other clips show the 46-year-old being doused in water, shot with paintballs, and apparently even being strangled.
I'm so happy HasanAbi held the line and denied them early on. Yeah. I mean, Speed too. It's so funny. Kai and Speed got the bag from Rumble, and then they never really streamed there too. They were like, Rumble was so desperate for clout that they just gave him a fat bag, and they streamed one time on that platform and then never again. And look where they're at in their careers. They could have taken the Kick bag. They could have. Let's not give Kai too much credit. Yeah, sure. But like on that front, he was smart enough and had surrounded himself with smart enough people that knew better, that like that was a major problem. What's also crazy about the Kai situation is that all the Kick streamers hate his ass now because he literally said, I don't want to stream with Aiden Ross because they spam like, monkeys in the chat every time I'm on camera. Yeah, dude, this is the most normal thing for a black content creator to be like, I don't want to be a part of this. It's racist, this. And they hate him for it. They literally hate him for it. They're like, oh, how dare you? Why the would he want to be a part of that?
I got your back online. I said, respectfully, in real life, I got you, bro. But when it comes to this content, I'm not in the mental state to be in front of your. As soon as a color hop onto the stream, it's straight watermelon and gorillas. I'll watch.
I just wish he didn't say that, though. I really wish he didn't say that as soon as there's somebody with color on your stream. We don't have to make this about race at all.
Brother, come to Dagestan, brother. 1-2 year, we make wrestler out of you, brother. What the This is such a stupid statement. I turn into a Dagestani. I like you can't, like, this is such weirdo behavior. I don't know how to describe it. It's like, you got a black dude being like, hey man, it's really fucked up that your community is insanely racist whenever there's someone of color on your stream. And he's like, why you got to make this racism about race, man?
We don't have to make this about race at all. Like, there's no reason to do that at all. I get what he's saying. Like, when there's somebody with color on their stream, they spam monkey and watermelons and stuff. When there's a Jew on stream, they'll spam the craziest shit in my chat. When there's a Mexican,
Bro, what? His response is, let me tell you all the other groups that they're racist towards as well. Hey, yo, man. Dude, how echo chamber do you got to be to think this is a good line? This is bars, man. He's spitting. You don't understand, bro. We're not just racist towards black people. We hate the Jews as well. Aiden Ross is Jewish, for those of you who don't know.
on stream, they'll spam in my chat. When there's a Chinese person on stream, they'll spam my shit in my chat.
Oh, Chinese people too. God, okay.
It's not just one specific race, guys. It's every race.
Oh, I didn't realize it was worse than I thought it was. Why would that be inviting? Why would this be welcoming? What the I'll bet there's one race that doesn't get spams. Oh. Yeah. Well, because that doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like anti-white racism doesn't hit the same. And anyone who will try to sincerely engage you with that argument is a silly person, okay? It just doesn't work that way. Andre is a relevant tweet about anti-Semitism on Kick. Yeah. After Ethan said he is announcing that he may begin streaming on Kick. Remember that Kick allowed anti-Semitic imagery as official channel emotes on Aiden's channel. Looking back at getting banned for Cracker is even more crazy now. Oh, yes.
Also, on top of that, I do wish you well on Kick. I really do, because I want a competitor. I want a competitor to Twitch because I think that would make the platforms overall better. You started off talking about how you hated how much titty streamers or hot tub streamers and the meta was awful, and now you got porn on your platform. Now you got one of your main poster boys at Kick showing porn to minors. So maybe you now recognize the importance of moderation, especially as it pertains to an overall platform. Okay. Well, it's great. 24 hours? You think you should get banned only for 24 hours for showing minors? If you think Twitch would, how would you react if Twitch literally banned someone for 24 hours only? There have been instances. There have been instances where it's 72 hours, and even that's longer. And I'm sure you've advocated against that too. Why is there such a gigantic double standard here?
There isn't a gigantic double standard. Kick has been out for 4 months and it's still in beta. If I had the power to ban, believe me, a lot of creators on that site would be banned right now.
Like the other guy who copped Dome, on camera, that was crazy too. I think he got banned for what, 24 hours? I think.
That was bad.
Yeah, yes. I'm just saying that, like, you know, I
believe me. Listen, what you think moderation should be on Kick, I'm pushing for and advising for. They believe in free
I hope it works, and I hope the clip system works as well. I am excited to see what happens with Kick.
Last thing, I'll put people that I can say.
Or platforming Nazis. I think that's pretty bad too, honestly. But that's just me.
I completely agree. There is a difference between freedom of speech and hate speech. Do you understand? There is a major difference there. Hate speech is not allowed. I'm pushing for us to get a moderation team in place to get this removed across the site. Do you understand? This is the issue. A lot of people have come over thinking free speech means hate speech. That is not the case. Do you understand?
Well, that's usually why they do that. It's like a disingenuous way of framing it. Every platform has, even 4chan has like some speech restrictions on even poll. It's a normal part of the process of like regulating any sort of forum or any sort of place where people congregate. But a lot of Nazis will often utilize that as a reason. But I agree, and I think I'm happy that you are against it. I mean, maybe you'll have advice on how many days they should be banned, but you know, that does seem like a good idea.
I agree with you. To pervert freedom of speech to justify their hate, it's disgusting. It's completely disgusting to pervert, like, you know, the boundaries of freedom of speech and to try and justify the use of hate speech. It's completely disgusting, and I see it happen all the time.